What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Moxie channel. My name is Dylan and I help to raise the vibration of the planet. In this video, I'm going to show you how to identify the patterns of the wounded child that may play out still in your life, still to this day. We're going to clearly identify where those patterns came from, and we're going to look at them from a higher vantage point so that you will be able to reframe everything, find empowerment, and completely transform your existence. This is material that is extremely transformative because it gets down and dirty to the core of our spirit. So get ready for some transformations and paradigm shifts. And before we get started, make sure to like this video right there and right there so that it gets sent out to lots of people and we can all help to raise that vibe. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is the wounded child? Well, it's pretty easy to explain, actually. Oftentimes, when we have a low vibrational themed experience that perpetuates over and over again in our lives, it's actually because of some event, circumstance, or dynamic that happened when we were small children. Some trauma or perceived trauma that basically shaped the way we believe the world works, the way that we are, and basically tainted our vision in a negative way and made us feel not worthy. Now let's just get this out of the way. I've been through a ton of low vibrational experiences in my life, and I've came out absolutely swimmingly in abundance. So I want to tell you that if you're going through some difficult circumstances, don't panic. Don't think that the law of attraction isn't working, and don't think that you're not spiritual just because things aren't going your way, because in fact it's the exact opposite. Our higher selves are attracting these things for us as a catalyst for change. You are a diamond being shaped and morphed right now from the coal. The challenges are actually all opportunities to level up, clear away old energy, figure out what we need to do better or what we need to just let go of. So, the first thing we need to do in healing the wounded child is to first become aware of the negative pattern. So if you don't already know what your negative pattern is, I want you to sit down and take inventory of the lower vibrational events, circumstances, relationships, things that may trigger you, frustrate you, leave you feeling stuck, leave you feeling not good enough, and patterns that just seem to perpetuate. You can do this in your head, or I really like to do this sometimes with a notebook and pen or a Google Doc, so it's all out there and we can look at it objectively for what it is. Notice the trends or themes, and you'll probably find some pattern in your life and realize that there's an overarching belief that you have that you didn't even realize that you had. You got to ask yourself, what must I believe in order for this to be true? What must I believe in order for this to keep showing up? What must I believe in order to keep feeling like this? What must I believe in order to keep manifesting this? Because I keep manifesting it over and over and over again. And we must take responsibility for that. Because first things first, we are creators, people. We are not victims. Everything in our lives is a manifestation that we have created. And we will get to the point where we understand why we created it later in the video. So, for me, I always felt not good enough, and that was the pattern of my wounded child. It would literally play out in every area of my life. Relationships, work, friends, hobbies. It literally plagued me in every single area and kept me from taking action because I had that subconscious belief that I wasn't good enough already, and that was blocking the shit out of me and keeping me from flapping my wings. And now I know maybe some things are as easy as becoming aware of the story and just letting it go. But this one for me was beyond that. I couldn't just let it go. I didn't know how to. It was so ingrained within my spirit. I don't know. I did self-image meditations, affirmations, tried to control the feelings and manifest better thoughts and blah, 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 and all the techniques with no improvement. And it wasn't until I discovered where this belief came from that I was able to let it go and truly find a new level of freedom. But the problem was back then, I didn't have a clue where this belief came from. And one day I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Aaron Doughty, a couple years ago, and he had this meditation about completing the past. It was like he took you to a deep state of meditation and took you back to the painful memory if you remembered it. Or if you didn't, you were supposed to set the intention of remembering it. And so I did this meditation for like 5 days, setting my intention to remember what was messing me up all these years. And then it finally came to me. I remember being 5 years old and looking at my mom crying under the Christmas tree on Christmas Day because my dad left her. I remember feeling like it was my fault and feeling not good enough. And it's crazy because that situation had absolutely nothing to do with me. But as a kid, that's what I thought, you know? I thought it was my fault and that I wasn't good enough. And so I go about my whole damn life feeling deep down not good enough because my parents got divorced. But it literally had nothing to do with me. And when I discovered that and remembered that experience in that meditation, it was a freaking game changer for me. It was like all of a sudden I could recreate myself because the very thing that happened to me that I thought I was unworthy for was 100% not true. This thing that was perpetually manifesting and shaping my life in a negative way, I realized was a complete figment of my imagination. Incredible freedom from that. And just for the record, and for my viewers, my dad and I have a wonderful relationship today and spoke about all of this, which has brought us closer. And I don't blame him for anything. In fact, I thanked him because if it wouldn't have been for that, no way I'd be where I'm at today. So the thing about this is that everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different. And maybe you did do things that were your fault. Maybe you do still feel responsible in some way for your wounded child or your painful past. The thing is, though, with the wounded child, even if we did something that we don't agree with now, we did it because of some way that we thought we had to be to survive, feel worthy, or safe. And if you dig deep enough, you will see that ultimately we're not responsible for having this wounded child aspect, but we are responsible for healing it and putting light on it now. And I don't care how far down you got or how responsible you feel for it, take my words as truth. You are not responsible for what happened in the past, but you are responsible for healing it now. That's what's important. And going even further on a soul contract level, I believe that we all chose for some of these things to happen. Yes, it might sound crazy if you've never heard of this before, but on a deep spiritual level, I believe that before I incarnated here, I chose to have these very specific things happen for a very specific reason. Because think about it. If I would have never experienced all of that pain, no way I would have sought out this material, which is now the basis on how I live my life. No way would I have had a spiritual awakening and get to feel as good as I do now. No way would my life and personality be as cool as they are now. And thus, no way would I have been able to come close to fulfilling my mission here on Earth, to help people empower themselves and to raise the vibration of the planet. So finding that meaning is a huge game changer as well. Once we look at things from a higher vantage point, our whole perspective, outlook, and vibration begins to shift from that of the wounded child victim to that of the empowered spiritual being. And so I know these concepts have absolutely changed and transformed my life to where I can now manifest what I want by integrating the shadow and healing the wounded child. I hope this video can begin to do that very same thing for you. There will be much more info coming on the wounded child and a part 2 of this video, so stay tuned for that. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button. Comment below and let the community know the trend of your wounded child, like what you felt like, how it kept repeating in your life, and how you are healing and integrating the shadow. And make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my extremely empowering and life-changing videos. I love you guys so much, and I'll check you on the next one. Peace.